Retail, your home away from home.
Mga suki, ania na ang natural, ang herbal nga produkto para sa atong panglawas. Sulay ang binek malunggay, serpentina ug mangosteen capsule dietary supplement. Produkto kini sa Oblates of St. Benedict Community Development Foundation Incorporated. Ang malunggay, puno sa bitamina nga makapalig-on sa resistensya. Ang serpentina, makatabang sa pagmintinar sa normal nga blood pressure. Ang mangosteen, daghan og antioxidants para sa mas himsog nga panlawas. Mapalit kini, eksklusibo lamang sa Princess DS Drug House, Quezon Boulevard, Kidapawan City. Princess DS Drug House, USM Avenue, Aglipay Street, Kabakan, Cotabato. Samlang, mapalit usab sa Rizal Street, Poblacion, Del Pilar Street, Poblacion o Quezon Street, Poblacion, Samlang, Cotabato. Sa Bansalan, makita sa Princess DS Drug House, Via Cruces Street o sa Quiro Street, Bansalan, Davao del Sur. Sa Digo City, mapalit sa Princess DS Drug House sa Roa Street, Zone 3, Digo City, Sorowan Building, Quezon Avenue, Digo City, o Rizal Avenue, Zone 2, sa Digo City, Davao del Sur. Sa Padada, mapalit sa AV Meds Pharmacy, Padada, Davao del Sur. Dali na! Palit na sa Princess Drug House o pilia ang herbal nga masaligan. Para sa natural nga kaayuhan, pilia ang produkto sa Oblates of St. Benedict Community Development Foundation Incorporated.
Looking for a secure and wise investment for your family's peace of mind? Inquire now and learn more about this exceptional opportunity. Visit St. Jude Memorial Park. Reserve your slot now for as low as 699 pesos per month for 5 years with zero interest, with no hidden charges, no big down payment, and guaranteed hassle-free ownership. Available ang kanilang prime loan lot at miscellaneum. Hassle-free din dahil meron din silang burial and internment services. Visit their office along National Highway, Barangay Ilada, Matalang, Cotabato. St. Jude Memorial Park.
(4:36) ang atong oras mga higala. Balik kita sa atong programang Boses sa Mindanao. Atong balikan na ang kining i-play nato ni. Kuha ng audio lang sa kay kapoy mag-send. Kining public hearing on Committee on Proactive Response and Oversight for Timely and Effective Crisis Strategy sa kining Senado nga gi-preside ni Senator Win Gatchalian. So kagahapon ni. So paminaw nato ang ngano, ginapatubag ang DOE ani. Kung nganong paspas kayo ni taas ang presyo sa diesel o gasolina sa atong nasod Pilipinas. So paminaw nato ni mga higala.
We had 50 to 60 days of supply. Tama po. So after 2 weeks po, yung 55, tumaas po ng average sa 125. Kinuha po natin yun sa inventory, yung 125, sir. Tama po. Sir, you have to answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But I cannot speak for the others.
Yes, sir. Kayo po yung sumagot kasi tinatanong ko yung Chevron, kayo po yung sumagot eh. Okay?
I had the number kasi.
Yes, sir. So, 996,348,000 liters per month. Yun po yung consumption natin sa diesel. So, nagkaroon po ng increase na 70 pesos per liter after 2 weeks. That's 127%. So, tingnan po ninyo, Mr. Chair. 996,348,000 liters times 70 divided by 30 days. That's 2.32 billion per day, approximately gross income. Is my computation correct, sir? Ulitin ko po, 996,348,000 liters times 70, ito po yung increase, divided by 30, 2.32 billion per day. Ang approximate gross income. Kasi kinuha niyo po sa inventory. Wala pa naman po yung, di pa naman kayo umaangkat. 2 weeks pa lang po nakaraan eh. Gasoline. It used to be 50 liters per day, pre-war. Naging 80 liters po, average, after 2 weeks. So meron pong difference na 30 pesos per liter or an increase of 67%. Sir, ilan po yung consumption natin ng gasoline per month? Four 4,521,000 barrels or 714,318,000 liters. Correct po? Can I get a confirmation? Anybody from? Welcome.
Anyone from the from DOE or from our from
These
the
figures were
stakeholders?
supplied to me by a friend from the oil companies.
I think DOE will be the more appropriate resource person to shed light on this matter.
Mr. Chair, as confirmed kanina, yung diesel is around 32.5 million liters per day. More or less 33
Nasort
million.
na natin yun.
Oh,
996,348,000.
Yeah,
So yung gasoline na lang.
Gasoline is around 23.3 million liters per day.
Or 714,318,000 liters. Tama po?
The 23.3 million is already in liters, Mr. Chair. Daily.
Kaya nga, times 30, ilan? $714,318,000 liters of gasoline. Tama po.
That's correct. Around
Oh,
600.
yan. Ito po, ganito. 714,318,000 liters of gasoline times 30 days. That is 714 million per day. Approximate gross income. So pag pinagsama po natin itong dalawa lamang, Mr. Chair, per day po ito sa diesel po, 2,324,812,000 plus 714,318,000. Ang gross income po per day is 3,039,130,000 per day. 3 billion, Mr. Chair. Kinuha po ninyo sa inventaryo ninyo ito. 2 weeks pa lang ang nakakaraan eh. Alam po ninyo, Mr. Chair, I have to apologize for making this comparison. Yung 18 Marines po, yung kanilang mga dineliver na mga mali-maleta, kinumpute ko rin po eh. Despite the logistical nightmare scenario that was peddled to the public, ganito po yun eh. Approximately, they were delivering 2 billion pesos per day. Based on 33 months, times 4 weeks. Average po ng about 42.5 maletas, averaging 40 million. It's maleta. Ito pong gross income na kinukompute ko, Mr. Chair, mas mataas pa po doon sa maleta na dinala po ng 18 Marines. Allegedly. Wala po akong inaano. I'm just trying to see. I mean, yung analogy lang po. Wala po akong pakialam kung totoo o hindi totoo yung sinasabi po doon sa sworn statement. That has yet to be investigated properly. Ang kwento ko po is 2 billion a day, yung sinasabi nila. Ang sabi ko nga po, I'm not saying that that is correct. That is yet to be investigated properly and in proper time. Pero ito pong sinasabi ko, it's 3 billion pesos per day ang gross income po ng National Oil Company. These are not my figures. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. Again, we'll discuss the pricing later on, and I'm sure our friends from Manibela also have some observation on that. We'll finish the presentations from the oil sector. Next will be Shell Filipinas Corporation, represented by Ms. Lorelie Kiambao Ocial, the President and CEO.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, other senators and members of the committee. Good morning to everyone attending here today. Today is March 26, which is the 26th day of the technical closure of the Strait of Hormuz. And that accounts for 20% of the flows of molecules in the world. And most of that is going through Asia. Therefore, if the conflict continues, then there will really be tightness in the entire world, which is first felt in Asia. So I do echo what Mr. Nepomuceno and Kunbon has mentioned when it comes to the tightness in supply. And it is getting tighter and tighter. And with Asia being the first India and then Asia being the first regions impacted. Then you also see like LPG problems in India and in Asia, the tightness. And as a result of that, then you do see a number of the governments declaring export bans, which has resulted to refineries declaring force majeure. Now, global prices for oil and gas are global. Therefore, even Mr. Trump, who has sufficient supply, is not spared from the elevated prices. So that region is not also spared. So when it comes to the supply and inventory of Shell Filipinas Corporation, that is our foremost. I think our priority right now is to ensure that during this time we are able to still get molecules into the country. We want to make sure that we continue to supply reliable, safe, and quality fuel. Now, while we adhere to and maintain what is required by the government when it comes to inventory levels, at times like this, we recognize that is not enough. And therefore, we are exerting best efforts to still go beyond the minimum, making sure that we have enough stock coverage. It is extraordinary times. I think as the other players have mentioned, there are molecules out there, it's still available, but then with the elevated prices, it's really felt. And if you look at, even if you look at MOPS pricing at the end of February, it was 71. It has reached as high as 160 last week, and I think 140-ish yesterday. So that's also a 120% increase. I think it was mentioned on market premium, which is also published. It was hovering around $0 to $2 per barrel at the end of February, and now we are seeing numbers 30, 41. Insurance costs have gone up, freight costs have also gone up, and indeed it is not helped. It is not helped also by where the peso is. So I think from Shell Filipinas Corporation, we support an all-society approach when it comes to how we work together moving forward to make sure that we are able to help help our country. Now, for us, when it comes to resourcing and sourcing of molecules, we do rely on our global trading network. And aside from, for example, the usual routes that we have, then we've really gone into diversification when it comes to sourcing. We've also looked at contingency routing for that matter. And we are making sure that we prevent ourselves from being in a position where we are running short. But again, there is a question on pricing. So in the discussion indeed with the DOE, and I think which the DOE is now doing, we did ask for support when it comes to granting security to cargoes that we have already contracted. So we do see some countries exercising an export ban. So our ask has been through the G2G discussions to ensure that our contracts are honored and the cargo that is bound for the Philippines does get loaded and does get shipped and not diverted. We also support, I think, the government's efforts when it comes to targeted subsidies, and therefore we also have programs when it comes to PUVs and TNVS, for example. I think for us, even through this time, then we make sure that we are really compliant with all the government requirements, even when it comes to the schedules around pricing increases, for example, and other things. I think on the diversification of supply, I think one thing that is under discussion is to align some of our standards with other countries, such as Australia and Malaysia, because for some of the specifications for the Philippines, then we have higher specifications. Now, if we align with other countries, then that does open up sourcing options for us, and therefore that is also being discussed. I guess with the excise tax suspension, which is now enacted into law, we also are prepared to make sure that that is implemented in a clear and in a coordinated manner, together with the DOE, together with the DOF, the BIR, and the BOC. So I'll leave it there when it comes to the update from Shell Pilipinas Corporation.
Thank you. And lastly, we call on Ms. Jetty. Yes, Senator Marcoleta.
Just a few questions, Madam. Everybody else in the oil industry is pinpointing the Strait of Hormuz as the chief villain. But you said that only 20% of the oil supply is coming through that route, the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. What about the Suez Canal, Madam? Are you assuming that it is closed?
So right now, the Suez Canal is not closed. So
Yes.
you look at three waterways.
No, I'm only asking you if the Suez Canal is closed also.
It is not closed.
It is not, of
Yeah.
course. And you know that the oil of Russia and probably Kazakhstan are being processed by Rotterdam. You know about that?
It is a global business.
Yes,
I will have
madam.
to check
But
that.
what I'm saying is Suez Canal is open. America is not affected by the Strait of Hormuz. Okay.
From a pricing
Petronas of
perspective,
Malaysia
it
is not
impacts the
affected
entire
by
world.
the Suez. Petronas of Malaysia is not affected by the Strait of Hormuz. Am I correct?
Everyone is affected by the closure of the Strait of
Everyone.
Hormuz.
Why everyone?
Um,
I have shown to you
Sir, because
The
of the
data.
pricing, which is global.
that is always the argument. You're always returning back to the argument of a replacement cost, of Argus, of maps, and the plots. But what about the data I have just shown a few minutes ago?
I think as mentioned by the other members, we have not seen that data, and we would be happy to look at it. Now, if you then look at market dynamics,
As we speak,
each-
you can already check this, madam.
we will have a look at it, sir. I would be happy to have a look at it.
Of course, of
yeah.
course. And this committee awaits for confirmation on your side,
Yes.
if these data are correct or not.
Yes.
That's
Now,
the only issue.
I hear you.
Because this data, as you will, as you might have noted, they do not even, they even included the VAT and the excise tax and even the biofuel. Earlier, even our committees also took upon ourselves of legislating, let's say, suspending the collection of VAT or even the excise tax, and even suspending or replacing our CME with PME, which is, of course, will be affecting our coconut industry. But in this data that I have just presented, we will preserve all this. That's why it is very important for you to please check on this data, first of all, before we even continue discussing your apprehensions and your world data and the trending and the trading floor and the spot market and blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sir, Mr.
So
Chairman.
happy to.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Senator Makini.
Mr. Chairman, ang data na binabanggit ni Senator Marcoleta, no, kung totoo po ay mahalaga talaga. Can we ask DOE para po, matagal pa po tayo dito, maybe we can talk to the staff of Senator Marcoleta, some of the industry players. We can go on the side and tingnan natin kung option ba talaga to para makita natin kung yung veracity nitong data na to, no, please.
Actually, Mr. Chair, I approached some of the members of the Senate staff.
Yusek, please sit down.
Can you give, Director Abad, can you sit down in this chair so that...
Actually, Mr. Chair, we already approached the Senate staff so that we can compare and check the computation, looking into the details, including but not limited to the conversions.
If this, if the information and the supplier of Senator Marcoleta is true and existing, then I think that will be fantastic for our country kasi mababa yung presyo, no? So I think it's to the best interest of DOE to check it ASAP. Now, we'll give you the materials in a while.
Can we ask for official position from the DOE before the end of the hearing? I mean,
Yes.
matagal-tagal pa naman tayo dito, Yusek Wimpy, no? Can we look at the data, please, maybe with some of our industry players and get a formal answer before the end of the day?
We have an initial position already, but we just want to have it validated. Thank you.
So lastly, we call on Mr. Collado of Jet Petroleum.
I'm sorry, sir. We have an initial position, not official. Initial position already.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mr. Collado. Or Mr. Asioche.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Thank you for inviting us here. Insofar as JET is concerned, we also have the same problems with the other oil companies, like the difficulty in procuring the supply. That is our number one focus right now. Now it's been getting tighter and tighter as the war drags on. Fortunately, we have kept all our stations open. They are still adequately supplied. So wala pa po nagsasara sa aming network of stations. Okay. We have about 20 plus days for supply right now. This is on site. It means that what is kept already on our depots. Now we have some orders coming in, and so far only one vessel so far that we can confirm. No, in transit, it is already in transit. Some are still loading, so until that has been loaded and coming in, we cannot still confirm how the volume of that vessel. Okay, so far that's what I can say for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Asioche. Yes.
Saan po kayo nagpapaload?
Sir, good morning. Dito lang po, we only load.
Wait lang. Puto.
Dito lang po, we only load in sa East Asia. So,
Saan nga po?
Apo, Malaysia, China, South Korea mostly. Sir, we only import finished goods po. Finished product.
Kasi po, kung bibili pa kayo sa South Korea, siyempre, iba-iba ng layer yun. Ang sinasabi ko, dumirekta po kayo sa mga tangke na nandun sa Singapore. Kanina ko pa nga po sinasabi yun. Bakit nga po ayun yung tingnan yun? Kasi po, kung doon tayo nakapokus, there is no problem to speak of in the first place. Kapag napatunayan po na tama yung data. Hindi po ba?
Sir, I believe Singapore has ceased all exports.
Ano po?
Singapore has ceased all exports.
Hindi nga po, kung ma-check po ninyo yung data ang sinasabi ko, I can give you even a name to contact.
Sir, okay. Thank you very much. We would like to get that data.
Well, we'll request Senator Marcoleta to give us the information of that supplier. Siguro kailangan na natin siya ngayon. No? To be honest about it, after hearing the statements of the oil companies, medyo na-depress po ako dahil parang hanggang May na lang tayo. After May, tama po ba? Hanggang April pala, until end of April. After end of April, parang
For Petron, it's up to the end of May.
end of May for Petron, but the others is until end of April, correct?
We're continuing to work on getting more supply week
Yeah.
in and week
But
out.
what I wanted to hear is certainty na merong supply papasok. No? And after hearing all of the comments, ang narinig ko is uncertainty. No? After April, after May, and it's quite concerning because you cannot run a country with uncertainty of fuel supply. No? You cannot run businesses with uncertainty of fuel supply. No? So with that, we will drill down on those details later on, and we'll allow our senators now to propound their questions. Senator Marcoleta, since you came in early, you have 10 minutes, unless you have already asked all your questions. And then Senator Bamakino after.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Gusto ko pong i-direct ang tanong ko sa DOE. Kasi po kanina sa opening statement, Mr. Chair, binanggit po natin yung Republic Act 8489. Kakambal na nga po niya yung binanggit po natin na executive order. Magagamit po ba ninyo itong andiyan pa si Secretary? Wala. Magagamit ba ninyo yung Section 14, Article E, Paragraph E ng 8479?
Yes, it is available, Mr.
Kasi
Chair.
po last resort ito eh.
Yes.
Kung ako pong tatanungin nyo, ayaw ko pong dito tayo humantong. Kasi last resort na po ito, Mr. Chair. Parang napakalaki na ng problema ng ating bansa. Kapag ito po ang ginamit na natin. At ang katambal nga yung Executive Order 839. Ito naman po ay pinangatawanan ng Supreme Court sa kasong binanggit ko kanina.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, kung ganito po yung senaryo ang sinasabi nila, at ito nga pinangangambahan na ng chairman, maski po ako talagang kinakabahan na rin. Baka May, sabi niya, May Day na. Paano ngayon ito? Paano kayo papasok kung ganun halimbawa yung senaryo ang sinasabi nila? Meron po ba kayong nakalaan na mechanism kung paano natin gagamitin ang available na batas na para sa inyo?
Okay. Thank you very much for the question, Mr. Chair. Would also like to thank the Senator for bringing out the limitations, because it is important that we emphasize the need for balancing. And even in the local level, we emphasize that balancing. Meaning, pag sobra yung supplies natin sa lokal, mali po yun. Pag kulang naman po, mali din yun. Paano po natin may iwasan yung mga kamalian Una-una po, yung behavior nating lahat is not only on the supply, but also on the demand. We have to regularly go about with our business, considering that even if we say na hanggang May lang siya, tandaan po natin ang cycle ng pag-order. It's around 2 weeks. At na-emphasize po natin 2 days ago that we have sufficient supply considering na almost puno yung ating mga storage facilities. So, may kailangan ba tayong mangamba? Kung nakikita po natin yung nangyayari sa Middle East na wala pang linaw, mangangamba po tayo doon. Pero kung meron po ba tayong solusyon? Meron po tayong solusyon. 14E is indeed extreme, but it always gives, it is the wisdom of Congress and the law to give that strategy as a last resort to government for protection of everyone, not only of the consumers, but also for business. So, yun po yung ine-emphasize ng Department of Energy. Now, with this declaration from the President, we have scenarios precisely to avoid that grim scenario na mas nagkakaroon ng leeway ang Department of Energy. But we can tackle first what happened before that. So, we were talking to the oil companies of trying to see how we can assist them. But we also emphasize the proper behavior on the supply side. There should be no favoritism of gasoline stations in the distribution locally. There should be no hoarding for the gasoline stations so that it will be available for all our consumers. There should also be no hoarding for our consumers because at the end of the day, the balance will be distorted if there will be a problem on the supply, on the behavior of the suppliers, and a problem of the consumers on the demand side. We have also been calling for energy efficiency, and we have called for all these strategies, coordinating with the local chief executives, coordinating with the chiefs of police. Now, when Uplift convenes, we will have...
Mr. Chair, can we be more specific, sir? Because emergency nga ang sinasabi nila eh. Ako naman sabi ko parang wala akong makitang emergency.
Alright, so mga kadto mga higala, no? So, medyo taas-taas pa ni, oh. Nindo to, nabatian natin, no? Na-frustrate sila. At ano yung padayon sunod si Mana, oh. So, para masabtan yun nato, oh, kung unsa ang nagapangitabo sa atong kalibutan, and specifically sa atong nasod panahon sa ing-aning krisis. Alas 5:07 na pa. Grabe ka, ano, paspas mo, eh. Hindi to unta maminaw pa kay makakuan kita, kini maka-learn kita. Pero kay umanatong oras, so pwede mo mutanaw sa page sa Senate of the Philippines, so sa mga netizen nato para mabalaan nato dagan, dili kay dito ta sa mga fake news magtutok dirita sa mga hearing sa Senado and Congress. Oy, 5:07 na. Daghang kayong salamat. Kabagan nato sa technical side si Sir Brian Cordero. Sa ngalan sa atong station manager, Mr. Rocky hangtod sa Lunes. Kini si Don Malakanan, mayong hapon, South and Central Mindanao.